Governor, you just recently returned from Israel. You were sharing some of your experiences with Daniel Cohen there last week. What did you take away from your trip?
I think it's far worse than most of us could even imagine. Most of the atrocities that were committed by the Hamas terrorists, backed by Iran, are unspeakable. I can't even say on television what were some of the things that were done to innocent Israeli civilians. And I want to make sure that people understand this was an uncivilized attack. This was not a war effort from Hamas. This was an attack on babies, women, vicious attacks on elderly people and families. And they weren't just murdered, they were slaughtered, mutilated, humiliated before they were dead. And in many cases, they were murdered in front of their children, just to increase the level of trauma. It's the most outrageous thing. And when I hear people in the United States going around screaming from the river to the sea, I just want to say, you're the biggest idiots that ever breathed air. Do you not understand that this is a war of evil? These are not just people who are oppressed. Hamas and the Palestinian people in Gaza, they voted for the nonsense they got. They have a hellhole of existence because they use all the resources, the billions of dollars they get from the United Nations and other countries to build bombs and bullets and tunnels so they can cowardly hide after they attack civilians. This is an evil regime, and Israel is absolutely right to say that they will stop at no point until they have eradicated the threat. They have to do that. There's no choice.
And Governor, I just want to follow up. You're a family man, and you went to ground zero essentially here in Israel, and seeing everything that you saw, was this an emotional trip for you?
It was emotional while I was there. I did not expect that when I came back it would become even more so as I started processing it. And sitting in church Sunday for Christmas service, I found myself just getting emotional, and I realized that there was a lot of things that I had dealt with being on the very line of Gaza, hearing the artillery going off, having lunch in Tel Aviv interrupted by sirens, and hearing the blast of rockets overhead intercepted by the Iron Dome, talking to survivors of October 7th, the families of hostages, spent time with Prime Minister Netanyahu, and you come home from that and you realize, watching people in America act like that, Israel is an occupier, and I'm thinking, my gosh, we've got to stand with Israel. We need to let the Jewish people around the world know that we recognize that there is an absolute existential threat to them, and they will not be standing alone. We've got to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Governor Huckabee.